Listen up, you blundering fools. It's time for the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. Get all the toy talk your eagle heart could desire from these nincompoops. Jason and Elgin.
Yo, Joe, and welcome to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast, where friends get together to talk about one of our shared loves,
chocolate sundaes.
Ooh, and toy collecting. We're here to celebrate how these little colorful pieces of plastic can transform you into a little kid again. If this is your first time listening to or watching us on YouTube, first of all, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We really appreciate it. You're also going to learn soon enough that we are not toy experts. We're just enthusiasts. So we're not always
leave us alone.
Yeah, be nice. We're nice to you, mostly. Speaking of getting details right or wrong, let me introduce everybody. You can see there on YouTube. My name's Jason. That's me. And over there's my pal Elgin.
That's me. I'm Elgin. I'm over here.
Oh, sounding so good.
I know. Finally.
Well, yeah, so speaking of that and all the things, there's big changes here at Cracktastic Plastic. If you hadn't heard yet, we're super duper excited. We're going to be releasing episodes weekly now.
What? You never told me about that.
Guess what, pal? No, but we've been talking about it for years and years. Like, how great would this be to be able to talk toys every week?
Live.
And then on top of that, we're going to be live streaming every episode, too.
What?
So, I know. Which is really great. So all of you who can make it Monday nights at 7 p.m. Central, 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yes.
If you can be here, you can participate in the chat, and we can show your comments on the screen, talk about all the crazy stuff you say, and happy to have you here.
Definitely.
Get ready to grapple with nostalgia as we step into the squared circle of wrestling toys. From classic WWF Hasbro figures to modern WWE Mattel elites, we're talking about the legends, the rarities, and the ring accessories that brought the action to life. Whether you're a fan of Hulkamania, The Rock, or the Indies, there's something for every wrestling toy enthusiast. Plus, we'll dive into our personal collections and share which figures are the undisputed champions. Don't miss this heavyweight episode. It's a total smackdown. I had to say all the things. And the big elbow from Elgin. That's good.
People's
Have you named
elbow.
that move yet? Is that? Oh, it's yours.
That's the people's elbow.
Oh, okay. That's fair. And then later, Elgin's going to take us on a tour of a toy store, and it's going to be really awesome. It's a good one.
Yeah.
You can follow us on all the social media platforms, including Patreon, and those links can be found at our website, cracktasticplastic.com. And while you're surfing the interwebs, be sure to stop by our sponsor, toyhacks.com, for all your repro label needs. They also have an armory where you can get some toy-accurate 3D printed weaponry and tons of amazing sticker sets for your toys. We also have a monthly contest that Elgin's going to tell you all about.
That's right, brother. We got a monthly contest. We give away $5. $5 coupon to Toy Hacks. That's why we'll post a picture and put it on our social media pages, and then you get to comment, and then we pick the funniest or cleverest or whatever comment, and then you win the $5, and you get to buy something at toyhacks.com. They have plenty of stuff you can buy. Peruse through their pages and take a look at what they have available.
That's right. Bill just won our latest one for December. It was pretty dang funny. Speaking of wrestling, it was a wrestling comment that won. Me doing some suplex on you.
Fisherman suplex.
Yes, that's right. So good. So January's is up now on all our socials. Go there and
check it out.
Well, before we get going, I thought maybe we'd say hi to the chat real fast. Speaking of,
hi, chat.
Here live and in person. Let's see who's over there. Well, channel member.
What?
We got Jimmy Lee Dalton here.
Hey.
We got saying live. We got Miss Tiffany, channel number 1. She says, ice cream.
Exactly.
We got comedian Bill Fisher, channel member. Says yellow. And Amanda
orange.
listening.
Orange, you're glad you're here because
Oh
he
my-
said yellow. Get it?
Jimmy's ready to rumble. We got Dave S. Patrick says, "What's up, guys?"
We're just hanging out,
And then
talking
Bill
wrestling.
thought maybe I had way too much fun writing that. That's true.
You
That's
never have too
true.
much fun writing.
No, because that stuff's great. Well, all right. But right now, let's talk about what toys we've picked up lately in a segment we call Thrill of the Hunt.
Listen up, you fools! If anyone knows more about searching for the most unique items in the world, it's me, Cobra Commander. In my reign as Cobra's leader, I have acquired countless items, but those meddling Joes have foiled my attempt at worldwide domination over and over again. But it's the thrill of the hunt that fuels my superb rule of Cobra. Pay attention to my loyal subordinates as they tell you of their latest exploits and acquisitions. It's the thrill of the hunt, Cobra!
That's right.
Cobra.
Oh man, and a quick peek behind the curtain. We recorded all those last episodes like way in the beginning of December. We were just kind of
Correct.
stacking them up to take December off and having it. So where it's like, now it's time for Thrill of the Hunt. We have piles of toys. I can't wait to see what you're going to show us today.
Yes.
Elgin, what do you got?
All right. Well, to continue on with the theme for today, which is
Ooh.
wrestling,
Oh,
I got some more of the wrestling figures from the WWE Superstars line. This line is only exclusive to Walmart, which is not great. I suppose you could probably order them online somewhere else, but it's not Big Bad Toy Store, so that's where I do all my ordering.
Yeah.
And Amazon doesn't have them, so you basically have to go to Walmart.com, which is terrible. By the way, not that Walmart's ever going to be a sponsor for us, but you know. Anyway, so I picked up this Kurt Angle.
Ooh,
This is a young Kurt Angle,
real
of course, with
American
his
hero.
little gold medal, Olympic gold medal. That's right. He was an Olympic gold medalist, an actual Olympic gold medalist. He
Always like
won
Kurt.
that gold medal with a broken neck. Surprisingly that he did that, but I've watched the tape of that and from the replay of the Olympics
yeah,
and
yeah.
stuff, and
Scary.
yeah, he's like just an animal.
Beast.
Anyway, he's got his kind of singlet, rocking that with the American flag. It does come with, what's a nice thing with these superstar figures is the accessories it comes with. So not only does it come with this little Olympic gold medal,
Heck
which you
yeah.
can take off, but the soft goods that come with it as well. If you take this off, he actually has another singlet underneath it.
I thought I saw that.
Let me just quickly take that, disrobe him.
Oh, hello.
And so he has like another,
Hey.
almost like an American Gladiators style USA on the back. That as well. But the blue kind of trunks as opposed to the red trunks. Unfortunately, he did not come with a carton of milk or anything like that.
Darn it.
Which would be awesome if he did. I should like make a little carton
You
of milk
should.
for him to drink or so, or get like a milk truck or something that he can drive around on, which he did
Yes.
famously. And he still has all his hair as well. He did go shave his head and go bald later on in his career, but yeah, it was, you know, an actual wrestler, Olympic style wrestler that transitioned into pro wrestling, and it was pretty seamless. Like he's kind of underrated for like not only like how good he is, but like how funny he is, and his promos and segments with Stone Cold and like everybody was just like classic. It's just like so funny, and just to watch all that stuff. But great head sculpt as well. Looks, you know, pretty much like Kurt Angle as well. So that's one of the superstars. And just recently, should be coming up this week. I can actually say this week since this is live.
I know.
Coming up this week, a little preview of that episode. I finally found him. It was at another Walmart in Altoona, actually. The Grail Walmart.
Yep,
if you know, you know. Found this little fella.
Oh my
That's
God.
right. Andre the Giant.
So big.
Yeah, in his classic black singlet. Yeah, from the older years,
Look at those chops.
and some big old mutton chops on him as well. And he's got a little kind of winged eagle style heavyweight belt, which is pretty sweet. It actually doesn't even fit around his torso. His torso is so big. Like I tried it, and I was like, this
Yeah.
doesn't even fit. I'm like, he's just gonna put it on his shoulder. But the cool thing is, so he not only comes with this black boots and black singlet,
Yeah.
but you can actually take the boots off.
What?
Yep.
Yes.
Let me do that real quick.
Oh, they pop off.
They actually had to package him like this because he's
Oh,
so
that's-
big in the
yep.
bubble. But they gave him some blue boots,
Oh,
which,
snap.
if you know your wrestling history,
Of course.
the blue, if I put them on his right feet here, they actually say right and left on the markings on the feet there.
Handy.
Can't see it. Yeah. And then if you take off his little singlet, come on, stuck around his ankles. Put his arm back on.
Yes,
get
arms.
The blue, classic blue
Yeah.
gear from his younger years, but there's one more thing. His hair actually comes off,
I thought that.
which seeing him without hair is weird.
Oh no! Stop
It's
it.
like a cursed image. But he comes with another hair sculpt. That's right, and we get the giant afro.
Yeah.
Andre the Giant
Like his
from
Japan
the
days or
Japan
what?
era,
Mhm.
New Japan wrestling. They gave him some stubble too on his face, which is kind of weird, but also awesome. But yeah,
Some kind of
he's
Ultimates version. What? This is crazy.
yeah. But this is based off the origin style bucks, so you get all the articulation from origin style figures, and the pop and swap of that as well. They did make an Andre the Giant in the WWE Eternia line way back when as a Titus crossover character, but now we actually get the real deal, and yeah, he's like 70s, mid 70s. Yeah, he's buff too.
Andre.
Yeah, they didn't give him the big old gut like like his older years, but yeah, they got him yoked up here. But yeah, that's pretty awesome.
John doing what he does, calling me out. He's like, Jason's like, do I look like an asshole? Of course I know my wrestling history. Yeah, everybody knows. I'm not like Elgin, but I used to watch.
Anyway, so yeah, so you basically get a 2-in-1. Depends how you want to have them displayed. You can have him with his black gear or his blue gear. So
Nice.
70s or like late 80s. Then I also got this. I think I got this for Christmas. This Big E ATV and ATV. So this is part of the Reckon line, which they have, which you can like basically tear apart, and it does. You can launch figures off of it as well. Of course, Big E is no longer wrestling. He broke his neck doing a move with Ridge Holland. Actually, Ridge Holland broke his neck basically by flipping him on his neck poorly, and then on the concrete outside the ring. So he is
proving wrestling's real.
Exactly. But he does. It's basically a basic figure, and we'll get more into that in the actual topic. But we'll bring this guy back and talk about it. But it looks pretty much like Big E. He's was part of the New Day. He's no longer part of the New Day. He got kicked out, fortunately, after they turned heel on him. That they being Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston. But it has the basic articulation, which is not a lot. And like I said, we'll go into that more into it. But it does look a lot like Big E, which is awesome. Even those thighs, thick thighs. Along with the ATV, you basically get a launching ability with the back. You can launch a figure off there. You can take this piece off here. You can put it on the front if you wanted to. You can actually stick this on the back like that, and then use that as your launcher if you have somebody in the back. Another thing too is you can hook up a figure to the front of the handlebars. So we'll just use Big E here. Stick him on here.
John says tear apart vehicles are for kids with anger issues.
Yeah, and
Yeah, what's your point?
anyway, and then so you can basically like swing them around.
Nice.
You can like attack people. Hiya, hiya. So it has that functionality as well. And of course, you can tear it apart. You can take off the motor that pops out. Just pop out the motor. Like these pop off to the sides. So it's kind of a break apart vehicle, which I have a bunch of these wrecking vehicles. They're pretty awesome. And the nice thing is that they would work with like any 5.5 inch figure or 6 inch figure. You could have them riding around on these things. So not only is it a vehicle for your wrestler, but it can cross over into other realms as
Joe
well.
Classifieds and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they, if they want to like ride around and on an ATV out in the country or something like that, they can do that. But yeah, that's the Big E and ATV. There's Big E. And the last thing I have is this Lucha Lowrider.
What? Oh yeah.
That I did last week, I believe. It
So,
has Rey Mysterio in it. I'll back up a little bit. But it's basically just a big old lowrider vehicle. And this is not part of the Wrecking series. It's its own line, I guess. But it's got little WWE tires on it as well.
nice.
You can do some launching as well. If you have somebody on the back of the trunk, you can press down on the hood and launch them if you wanted to, I guess. And even inside the trunk, there's like speakers, like fake speakers and stuff. It does come with a Rey Mysterio. Now this is the newer basic. They have kind of refigured the basic figures with a little bit more articulation. And that being that their hip has a little bit more to it. They can actually go out like that now. And this is a basic figure, but it can actually have that movement as opposed to this Big E, which is also a basic figure, and his hip is like does not move out like that at all. But this is still considered a basic figure.
Ted says Rey Mysterio isn't tall enough to drive.
He needs like a phone book.
Seat. Yeah, phone book.
To like prop himself up. But it's not a bad looking Rey Mysterio. My only complaint with this lowrider vehicle is I wish it would have been Eddie Guerrero, because really Eddie was the one driving this vehicle. I mean, they were friends and all, but I just need an Eddie Guerrero figure now. The short hair Eddie Guerrero, because that's the one that drove this, not the long hair WCW version, but like the short, I'm your poppy, going after, lusting after China, and all that version of Eddie.
They're listening. They'll make one for you.
Yeah, send one to me. Also the other thing with this, since it is a low rider, if you pop the front of the bumper here, and then the back,
oh geez,
and then these are independent of each other, so they can move.
You can get some bounce going.
Yeah,
oh my.
so you can really get it
angled and all sorts of
gold rims and all that, and then even the hot rod colors on it, that gold piping on it as well, whatever they call that. Pinstriping, yes, of course. But yeah, those just pop in here.
That's pretty cool.
The windshield does come off too. You can just pop that off if you're fighting or something. I'm not sure why they did that, but they did. But yeah, it even says has like low rider floor mats on the inside. You maybe not be able to see it right there. Steering wheel turns. Doesn't turn the wheels, but it turns. But it's just an awesome vehicle, you know, to have low riding around and just like with other. I just need to get like He-Man in here with like
Yes.
with his
Now, was that a Wreck-It one or just a normal vehicle?
it is not a Wreck-It. So originally I thought it was, but looking at the package later when I was doing the video, I was like, this is not a. Let me repeat, this is not a Wrecking
Okay.
one.
Okay.
Even though pieces
I
come
do
off,
that. And you can flip stuff and yeah.
yeah, it doesn't like wreck like the other motorcycles or cars or ambulance and stuff that they made. But the wheels spin really nice, and it's just a nice quality vehicle. I think my brother got this for me for Christmas. It was on my wish list. So if you want to get me something, I also have an Amazon wish list, and my birthday's coming up in March.
Cracktastic.
And if you want to get Jason a late birthday present, you can still do that too.
do that.
It's still January. That's his birthday month.
Totally.
Yeah. So that's what I have for wrestling stuff.
Tad had a good comment here. Tad from way down there in Burlington from Attack the Killer podcast. He says, I wish I still had my wrestling toys. We were poor, so Dad helped me make accessories. I had an announcer's table with a hinge in the middle so it could break and be put back together. Heck yeah. Now they just make them. Look at that. It's not even fair. But that's cool. You got to make your own milk bottle, you know, for Kurt Angle.
Yeah, I know.
Just too cool. Too cool.
Oh, it did come with some accessories. That Lucha Lowrider. I forgot it came with a crutch and a baseball bat.
Ted says technically, I think they're all Wreck-It toys. If you,
it's true. You have to
try hard enough.
Yeah. Throw it on the ground hard enough.
And apparently, all the cool people have March birthdays. All right,
that's right.
Good to know. Awesome.
Anyway, that's what I have for.
That's what you got. All right.
Thrill of the hunt.
Very nice. Tad says, Dad would see those things and say, I can make that. I know Elgin does that too. I remember when you made that baseball bat.
Yeah, I made a little. It was for Sting. It was for Sting. I was doing a kit bash of Sting, and I was like, well, he needs a baseball bat, so I used a little dowel stick. Took it outside to the old grinder table and kind of just ground it down, smoothed it down, and painted it black. And then I posted it, and I think even Sting liked it on Twitter when it used to be Twitter. He gave it a good old like and repost on his page. The old Stinger.
The old
Love
Stinger.
him.
Yeah. All right. Well, I got some things, like I said, it's just piled up here. It was hard to go back and try to figure it out. But so for me, it feels like old, but you know, I guess maybe it's new to you all guys.
I haven't seen it.
But so Transformers did this series that was pretty cool, even though it's something that I don't personally have connection with completely. They went back and did a line based on some of the comic books, the Marvel comic books, the US ones, and even one from the European one comics. Cool. And that's right. Ted says, here comes the Transformer hour. All right. All right.
But they're wrestlers. They wrestle.
No, these. Well, yeah, maybe.
If you try hard enough.
So they made a four set series, and this series is really cool because not only do the boxes have kind of flip open fronts on it, but the spines of each of these boxes all form one big new piece of artwork, which is really cool. And so the first one they released was from a pretty famous, I think it was issue 5. They put out this Shockwave, and they also did it's the first time, not first time, but they hardly ever do cell shading onto the figure. It's normally people do that later, you know, just kind of they do it themselves, artists and things. But we got Shockwave here in a much lighter purple, and he's got that cell shading all over him. He does. Yeah. This is the same war for Cybertron's Shockwave, but he didn't come with all the extra armor that he had.
Sure.
But he did come with a neat little piece from that issue. It's the famous cover. It just says Transformers are all dead on the front, and it's just Shockwave, just like fuck everybody.
Massacring them.
We got Optimus Prime's head on this little stand here from the issue, which is really cool.
Interesting.
Yeah, pretty bizarre, pretty morbid, really, but also really cool.
Yep.
Just not an accessory that you normally get.
Yeah.
The second one they put out, which is probably the 5th repaint of this toy, but it's the comic edition Grimlock. And so he looks different, because you just think back to those 80s comics and they just didn't have all the colors. They couldn't reproduce those colors in print like before. So
we only had 3 colors.
Really, this blue is more of a black, but it just came out that way. And he comes with his removable crown, King Grimlock, and comes with some extra swords. But just seeing him in this colorway, it's just awesome. And the cell shading
feels like a test print color type of thing.
Almost, yeah. So it's not that I love repaints, but when you can get a character and you see him in a way that you just never see him as a toy. They've never really done this before with Grimlock. So
usually he's like vac metal, right?
Yep.
At least gray, at least a lot of gray.
A lot more gray and silver. So
yeah,
just a neat new version for sure.
That's cool.
Tiffany says, Bill, I only know one great January birthday boy.
My wife's birthday is also in January.
Oh, okay. The third in the series, which I was almost most excited about because it was a character we don't normally get, and it's in a version that we don't normally get. And I'm not familiar with. I have maybe there's 80 issues in the U.S. comic, and I have up through 40 maybe. So, this guy, I haven't read them all yet because reading is hard.
It's hard. It is hard.
We got Straxus here, and he's a retool of Galvatron. And if you know Galvatron from the movie, he's kind of like a space tank, cannon space
howitzer.
Yeah, but then they gave him a whole new chest, a whole new face. Like, what is that?
What face is weird.
Mask weird, but also cool. I don't know, but he looks exactly like he does in the comic.
Awesome.
That's another thing that's neat about the boxes that these come in. They include a lot of artwork all around it from the issues and stuff. It's got that cell shading too, so it's got a kind of theme together with it. You can see it there on his arms and some of his legs and his cannon there, but
it's like he's leaking oil.
Kind of, but yeah, just this right here is just something you don't see every day, and or his character very often. So from the comic anyway. So really neat, the early stuff. And then lastly, from the series, the fourth one was a 2-pack. And these had never had toys before. Really? So it's just like instantly like, gotta have them. These are just characters that aren't anywhere on any of these shelves, so I gotta have them. And these are from the European comics, Marvel comics. I had to look up the name again. It's Autobot Flame and Emirate Zarin. So we got Flame here, Autobot Flame.
It's flamey.
Yep. And he kind of, it's got Hot Rod vibes just because of that red, orange, and yellow. Yep. But he turns into a tank. He's just so like angular and pokey in all his design, and really neat. But again, never been a character before.
Really?
In toy form. There it goes.
It's pretty cool looking.
Yeah. I like this little hose that runs down through there, and
Flame hose.
yeah, really neat. Still got that cell shading a little bit in there and on the turret, and it kind of becomes so it's a little Megatron like too. How he has a cannon on his forearm, but yeah, really, just that so angular. And then Emirat Zarin, and he's another little tank, a little fella, a lot smaller in size, but he's got a weird, like, as soon as this camera focuses here, he's got a weird mouth. It's like kind of sewn together almost. Come on now, you camera. Why now? Why?
Boy, you got a weird mouth.
Just do it. Why do you
Focus.
hate me, camera? All right. Well, he does. And
Take my word for it. He's got a weird mouth.
yeah, this is gold and yellow, and this gun here is his turret, and
Cool.
yeah, he's and it came in a 2-pack, and these two are in the comic issue. There you go. Finally, weird,
There it
right?
is. Yeah,
Weird little
like
head
a-
sculpt.
it's like a Doom, like a Dr. Doom
Yeah,
esque
kind of melted. I don't know.
man with iron mask
Yeah,
esque.
2 different size guys right together there.
Yeah,
A neat little 2-pack, and like I said,
cool.
so excited about it because just those characters have never been made into toys before.
Awesome.
Comedian Bill Fisher says, love the comic accurate details. Heck
Agreed.
yeah, man. And then lastly, let's see. Christmas present from my friend Elgin.
Who, me?
Yeah, you. Might have saw it in a little gift exchange video, but this is from Earthspark. This is the new deluxe version of Jawbreaker. And he's really neat, really cool. Love his colors a lot. Turns into a weird chicken thing. Dinosaur. No, it's like a dinosaur.
Weird chicken dinosaur.
Yeah, it's one of them chicken dinosaurs.
I mean, technically, all dinosaurs are. I mean, all chickens are dinosaurs.
Right. And that's all I was trying to say. Not trying to start anything here on the show. But anyway, he's awesome and cool.
What came first? The egg. That's right. The dinosaur egg.
Oh, and that's all right, focus. And that's what I know. That's what I got. That's gonna have to do for this one for me anyway.
Well,
wait.
we gotta stretch.
I got a transition.
Oh, yeah.
So I didn't have any.
Oh, star wipe.
Yes, we're moving into the topic now. Wrestling toys.
Wrestling.
I looked around. I'm like, gosh dang, I don't think I have any. And I don't. I didn't.
That's
and then
sad.
I know. I even got me. It sent me into a spiral of deep thought of like an existential crisis, even of like
just you sitting by the river looking out and like.
I was there this weekend. I was just like, why have I never, being a guy that all it seems I've ever done in life is create freaking top 5 lists of listing all the things. Just
Right.
everything I do is in a list, right?
Sure.
But I never was like determined a favorite wrestler. And it was a big part of my childhood, watching wrestling with Dad.
Yeah.
And the other 2 brothers. We watched the heck out of wrestling. Oh, back in the classic WWF days.
Yes.
Your Hacksaw Jim, all your early WrestleManias. We were there for all of it. So, but I never, it's just weird. I never picked one. And I'm not saying that this is one, but as I went to Corner Collectibles, I'm like trying to find, I want to buy something. So I have something to show on the show today.
I almost went there too. I was like, dang, I should have went there and looked through there. Because they have like a big old tote of like loose figures, which I did go through at one point. One day I was just like, I'm just going to sit down on the floor and go through these because they don't care.
and I did. And I'm like, nothing was jumping out. Really? I was like, gosh, it was more because it's more modern stuff, honestly.
Sure. Yeah.
But then I saw something that completely super jumped out of me. One, it's small, so that's helpful. Don't got a lot of room here, but it also reminded me of a character that I remember loving a lot. Maybe I'm not supposed to. I don't know, but I loved him because he was so weird at the time. But
Yeah.
I also got this little Gold Dust figure here. And I don't know if it's a little Funko guy.
It
I
looks
don't know.
kind of like
Mini.
it.
Little Funko Mini.
Does it say anything on the bottom?
It probably
On his
does.
feet or his butt? His crotch?
WWE.
E probably.
Yep. Oh my
Licensed.
god. I can't.
I know, it's so tiny.
It's black on black.
Don't hurt yourself.
It says Funko, so I
Oh.
think it's a
Oh,
mini.
nice. Yeah, it's probably
Yeah.
one of those. It's probably one of those pop can ones. that
Could
they
be.
do.
I think
Yeah,
they're taller, but
Oh,
anyway,
I don't know.
a little Gold Dust, and I'm like, man, I loved Gold Dust because he was so weird and so different. He just
Yeah,
when he came on the scene, people lost their shit.
long,
They're like,
long blonde wig and
I know, what a weirdo. And I'm like, I love this dude. He made
Good old
everyone uncomfortable, which is something I love to do.
Dustin Rhodes, the original American Nightmare.
I know. So I also picked this up. Now I have. Oh, I love it. We'll do it all. It got me my first, hopefully of many. I hope it doesn't just turn into a Gold Dust thing, but
It should. I hope it does. Actually, I
I
kind of wanted to.
that's fine. I think I almost got a hot rod when I was.
Oh yeah,
I really of the
Hyper.
superstars. I saw one. I should have just did it because I got to meet him once, and he is one of the coolest dudes I've ever met. And
Yeah. He seems like he would be.
he really was there. I have a great story from a convention I'll tell you sometime. But
That'd be good. Yeah.
and we've got Turtles Toy Box. What's up, Jason Elgin and all? What's up, Turtles Toy Box? And Tiffany said it right. She says, a weirdo would love the wrestling weirdo. It makes sense.
Nothing
It makes
wrong.
sense.
We love weirdos here.
But we all know, if you've heard any of this show or before, we know Elgin's a big fan of wrestling toys, and he's
Yeah.
got them all. And
I don't have them all yet, but
so this is going to be mostly Elgin telling us here. We got Turtles Toy Box says, Rodney Piper is my spirit animal. Heck yeah, man. But Elgin, what did you ever stop with wrestling, or you just always give me a little history on your wrestling?
Yeah, so when I was younger, my granddad actually used to watch it a lot on TV, and he was from India. If you didn't know, he he passed away a few years ago, and but he would watch it all the time, and he would just be like, oh gosh, and like they were like wrestling, just like take a fall or something. Like, oh, he was like so into it. And then my dad watched it too, and he would get a friend of his at work, because we didn't have cable or anything like that, so he would get somebody to record it. He had like a couple of VHSs, and so he recorded SmackDown and Raw. And this was like during the Monday Night Wars and everything.
Ooh.
So he would like get those taped. A lot of it, he would fast forward through a lot of the promos and stuff, because he's like, he just wanted to watch the wrestling. And so I would at my parents' house. It's a 2-story house, and then by where the TV's at in the dining room, the room above it, it actually opens out to like a little catwalk area, and you can actually look down into it. So there's a bedroom there. You can actually creep up and like look down to the TV. So we would like sneak down and like look over and watch like TV. Because he worked second shift, so he would like get home at like midnight. So he would like wake up and like creep over and like watch it and stuff. And I just remember like watching all that stuff, like watching NWO and and all those guys, Scott Hall.
At the height.
At the height, yeah. So it was just like Kevin Nash and Hogan when he turned Hollywood Hogan and all those stuff. But I kind of got away from it for a while, and then it really was that crossover, the WWE Eternia line, that really brought me back into
Toys
like wrestling figures again. And then like, because it was a combination of Master Universe and wrestling figures in a 5.5-inch scale, origin style scale.
Brilliant.
And I remember seeing the first thing they had was at Walmart. It was a ring. They had a Grayskull ring with a 2-pack. It was Triple H and John Cena. And it was like a Terror Claws Triple H or something like that. Yeah, it was Terror Claws Triple H, and then like a John Cena that was like He-Man. And so I saw that. I even like made a post about it on Instagram like in 2019. And it's like on my personal Instagram page.
Uh-huh.
And I was like, oh, I hope somebody buys this for me for Christmas, because it was like November. It was like in the middle of the aisle type thing. They were getting ready for Christmas, and then so I ended up getting that for Christmas, and I think that really just kind of kickstarted
Oh, there it
collecting
is.
those. I ended up getting every figure from that line, which is I still am shocked that I did.
Amazing.
And they made a second ring, a Snake Mountain ring, which is even cooler than the other ring. And that came with 2 figures. That came with the Stone Cold Steve Austin and a Hulk Hogan. That was like a Battle Armor He-Man-esque thing. But I grabbed a couple of those type of figures, the WWE Tournament line, because their crossovers were like really crossed over of like stuff. So we have a Kane that's a Roboto, the Big Red Machine, and they made him into the robot with like translucent hair and like Roboto hand. And everything. Like it's just like so spot on. And their stuff was so spot on. So these are like origin style articulation. I think it's like 16 point. And you can pop and swap stuff. So there was like a lot of like people, getting these. And they were only Walmart exclusive again, which was a pain. And so yeah, getting these. So that's one of them. And then I have the New Day. Manny Faces New Day. So Manny Faces had 3 faces. The New Day was a tag team that had 3 people. So you had like Xavier Woods, Kofi Kingston, and Big E all in there.
So smart, that line. Unbelievably smart.
Yeah. And the colors on them were great. And it's just like these vivid, like 80s style colors. And it was really just this line, just like kickstarting it. And it's like, and then that kind of transitioned into the WWE Superstars after this line stopped. And then they started making the Superstars line. And those were the same 5.5 inch figures, origin style bucks and everything. So then you get, another Kane, but with like soft goods.
Ooh.
And you get like a legit, like him when he first came out with this cape and, the one glove and one, it's like, and these are so like accurate to like what they were when they were wrestling. It's crazy, like how good they are. But once again, they're only at Walmart, so it's kind of hard to find them. Yeah. And they don't stock a lot of them either. Like that's one version. And they have like kind of random figures like Doink the Clown. I mean, it's, with soft goods, with this, felt kind of feeling clown suit.
I like the Spooky Horror Podcast says, that's Mayor Kane to you.
It's true. He did run for office.
Yeah, that Doink.
But like this Doink the Clown is insane. But literally. Like just random, yeah, exactly. He was crazy. But that kind of, led me into like all the, getting the Superstars line. Then it's like when I go to like toy shows, it's like, there was a lot of older wrestling toys, and the only couple that I have from like way back. So Remco used to put out a bunch of wrestling stuff. And those are like as close to vintage as you can probably find of like similar 80s style to Masters of the Universe. So I had this 2-pack with Baron von Raschke here.
Little Smesco.
And good old Rick the model Martel.
So handsome.
But he's got his he can do a claw.
Oh.
But these are like, these Remco figures, they're like as muscular as you could be and like very limited articulation, much like a early Master of the Universe, with just like the arms and the head and torso move and legs kind of minimal on that. Very limited, but these are like early 80s Remco figures, which they did a bunch of wrestling stuff like this, which is 5.5 inch scale, which I love. And it's just like, they look so awesome as well. Then going into kind of some 90s stuff, we got the headbangers. I think I've shown these before.
Because he's playing with his wrestlers.
Exactly. Mosh and Thrash. These I think are Jack specific toys, which they put out a bunch of toys as well. These also have kind of limited articulation with the arms and waist, and their heads actually don't move.
Oh.
I actually tried turning one and broke it off,
Oh no!
and then had to glue it back on. So one of them is glued on. Their legs kind of move, but they look, pretty. Actually, Mattel just put out elite versions of these as a 2-pack, but these old school late 90s ones or 2000s are like legit as well. So some of those. I ended up finding these Toy Biz figures at Goodwill a while back. We got a Stinger. These are all WCW figures from like 99, 2000. We got a Sting, the red face paint.
Ooh.
He's got a little action. We can do his Stinger splash. We can like, yeah. And I gave him a little, he came with a bat too.
Yeah.
But they did make a white faced one as well, white face paint of this Toy Biz style. And then I got a Diamond Dallas Page where you can do his go up his diamond cutter. It's like, I'm gonna do the cutter on you.
Those Toy Biz action features, man. So classic.
And then he just bam, out of nowhere.
Oh, didn't see it coming.
Yeah, exactly. Where he just kind of goes bam. I love Diamond Dallas Page. He was so old, like when he was wrestling.
Right.
Like they even like he's like yeah, I started like 79, and it's like and then it's like didn't really even get started until like 90s, like 20 years later. It's like okay, I can see why. But he's in great shape. He does a bunch of yoga and stuff too. This DDP yoga. But then I also ended up looking on eBay and found these like kind of weird wrestlers too. There's this whole line that Mattel put out in like 2018 that does a crossover again of like mutants. So I have this Brock Lesnar. I have a bunch of them, but there's this Brock Lesnar with like 4 arms.
Badass.
It's like freaking Goro from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
But like his legs, there's like
sick
protrusions, and then like his tattoos are in him, and there's like
that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it's insane. This whole line is crazy. I think I have all 6 of them.
And what's the line again?
It's like a mutants crossover. I think they just call it mutation or mutants from like 2018. But they're kind of basic figures where they have not a lot of articulation. It's the basic style articulation where the hips don't move out, they just move forward. The knee bends, and then actually these have an extra ankle pivot, which most basic figures don't have. So I have that one, and then I have a Sting, and he is like a literal scorpion.
Oh hell yeah!
It's so awesome.
It's so stupid, but so
I know
awesome.
it's so dumb. It's like these pinchers and like this freaking scorpion tail and like scorpion feet. Like it's so dumb, but it's so awesome. The monster line,
literal,
is great. But one of the best ones is they even made a Stardust. He was talking about Gold Dust, so Cody Rhodes was Stardust, and he was an alien from a different planet. So they made him an alien from a freaking different planet, and he's glow in the dark as well.
Oh well, that's your
like
favorite
alien
color.
hands. Look at these,
dude. That's badass. Maybe I should.
And the feet glow as well. But it's like Stardust.
So great. Look at
and he did wear a blue at one point. He did wear this blue and black uniform, or his uniform, but like his wrestling gear. He had like this other the yellow and black as well, but like he did wear it at one point, this kind of color with even the star in the front. But yeah, he glows in the dark pretty well. But yeah, these are like 2018. I had to get them all on eBay. There's like a Bray Wyatt, there's a John Cena, there's a Finn Balor, and I think that's it. That's all 5 of them.
Bill's like, awesome. No scorpions have feet like that. Going to this thing one.
But to get into like points of articulation.
Yeah.
I talked about earlier this Big E character. So he has this hip movement where he can go out like that, and then like his knee can bend, and then his ankle can swivel, but he can't do anything other than that. And his shoulder moves around and has an elbow. So that's pretty much your basic. So they sell basic figures, and they're on like cards, and you can get them at Walmart, Target, and they're the cheapest of the line. If you go through basic, elite, and then ultimate edition. price points anyway. So those are their tiers. So this is what you would get with like vehicles. A lot of times they give you the basic figure because it's cheaper. He does got a butt on him though.
Earlier,
Anyway, so then going
Bill was
the
talking about his
next,
thighs.
yeah,
Just really loving those thighs.
and then so the next layer would be the elite. So I have this Randy Orton here, and you get
ab crunch.
ab crunch, and then you can, if you do his hand, he comes with extra hands, so you can do
Wrist swivels and always liked him.
yeah. But they give him the ab crunch, and now you get a better hip articulation, double knees now,
Yeah.
double elbows, and even a wrist in and out.
Oh,
so you can
awesome.
actually go like that now, and double, like I say, double elbows, and then a shoulder pivot there, and then better ankle movement as well.
Oh, hell yeah.
So these, for the money, really, these elite figures are, especially if you can get them on clearance, are really great value. Like a lot of these, I think I bought this for like $7. And they usually come with some accessories or something else, you know. So it is pretty much, it is worth it to kind of get, if you're wanting to collect wrestling figures, to get these elite figures. They offer a little more movement if it's for posing and stuff, for pictures. And the price point is usually, I think normally retail they're like $21, $22. But if you can get it for 10 or less, is always good algenomics.
Right.
And then of course you get to the ultimate edition or ultimate figures, and I have this Brock Lesnar figure here. So you still get the ab crunch as well. Of course, with the ultimate figures, you get more accessories. It's a bigger box. You get, and these are ranging about $35 to $40. So you get more accessories, more soft goods. You get more head sculpts, more hand sculpts as well. I think this one came with like 3 different head sculpts
that are more accurate than the tiers below.
I mean, look at his. So he has that face. He has like a screaming open face and like a grimace and other stuff. So, and then lately, really, they're the true effects stuff that they're doing with these figures. So this is during his rookie year. That's why he doesn't have the front dagger tattoo. But what they've been able to do with the true effects scanning of the images of all their talent has made these figures a lot better now too. So the extra thing with these ultimate figures, other than they already have the double knees and double elbows, they now have this butterfly shoulder.
Oh yeah.
You can actually move your backwards, so you can, you know, put them in an arm lock like that if you wanted to, but you have that extra movement in the shoulder as well, which kind of helps to get his arm twisted out.
Bill says he looks Broxtipated. But he looks good though for him.
And they have a little toe.
Oh, they got the toe.
The toe articulation right there.
You can do running type stuff.
You can do running or and stuff. So basically, you get an extra toe cut there, and then a butterfly shoulder, which is the butterfly shoulder is nice. I kind of wish because now you can get full arm movement forward and backwards as well. If you want to lift somebody or do like somebody in like a rack type of maneuver, you can do that, or you can actually put somebody in a headlock now because you get that more forward movement up in like that. So it's put somebody in a chokehold a little easier, and so it's, you know, a little nicer for that. With the
and it's called Ultimate.
So yeah, these are the ultimate figure, ultimate edition style figures. So I'm trying to do that with Orton here. You can only get about
the hands to barely touch.
Yeah. And now you're getting like this almost full cross of the arms as well. So I think I picked this guy up for like $10 or less.
Steal.
Probably. It was like super cheap on clearance. The other thing I really love about these wrestling figures too is, like I said, that's why I keep buying the ones with vehicles. Because of the way they're scaled, you can actually put other figures on with the vehicles. one of my favorite ones is this Undertaker with this motorcycle.
Sure.
So really, if I wanted to take Undertaker off, I could put classified or Masterverse figures because they scale roughly the same. Maybe I could have Skeletor riding this.
Yeah.
Maybe I could have
It's
somebody
purple.
else. But basically, you get a full scaled version of a vehicle now with your other toys.
That's cool.
And this is a basic Undertaker figure as well. That limited articulation in his leg.
Hmm.
Or you can get giant vehicles. Like this monster truck
Oh yeah.
from Stone Cold Steve Austin's monster truck, which he's in there hanging out. This is part of the Wrecking series. But these giant wheels and, so if you want, you can have, a monster truck rally or something in Eternia or something like that. So just the possibilities of having a vehicle now that's maybe not, these can all be headcanon things,
Sure.
creating your own, reality in your head, I guess, for Masterverse or Master of the Universe. Maybe they want a truck rally in Eternia or something like that. And now I have a truck that I can do that with or something. And so the possibilities for combining all this stuff and just, using your imagination to pop and swap whatever you want these figures out or whatever else, or repaint them or do whatever. So I love that there's, vehicles that I can fit other wedge other Master of the Universe into and make that a part of like their story as well.
Heck yes. That's awesome.
But yeah, now they have the lowrider, I got the ATV, I have several motorcycles as well, the all Undertaker motorcycles. But yeah, just having those available when I want to do photography or when I want to do videos or something, TikToks or reels or shorts or whatever, makes it, a much, I don't know, more fulfilling experience, I guess, too, as not only collecting, but also creating as well, something content wise or just whatever I want to play with, I guess.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, before we move on, we got a nice little question here, which is from I Like It Spooky Horror Podcast. Says, "What's the most?" And this is perfect for you and Elgenomics. Maybe it should. Maybe it's a bad question. He says, "What's the most expensive wrestling figure you have or that you know of?" I'll go first. I got this little guy for $4. It's the only one I got.
I haven't really paid a lot of money for any of my wrestling figures. The mutant stuff that I got off of eBay was probably the most expensive. I mean, but I still tried to get I bought them all loose, so I didn't buy them in package, they didn't really come with any accessories, so that was good. I think maybe between $20, $25 for those, or less. A lot of the stuff I've been gifted as well. Some of the bigger stuff. That monster truck, I found that on clearance. Like it was clearanced way, way down. Because I think it was originally a $50 vehicle, but I think I got it for less than half. So I think I got it for 20, maybe.
Yeah, and that just goes to show that you have a giant wrestling figure collection.
Yes.
And everyone could have one if they just keep an eye on the clearance. I mean, they can, there's a lot of ways to pick up a lot of these figures for not too much. And
yeah, if you don't want to be like over zealous about it, I guess. I mean, there's people that, when they first come out, they want to get them. Just fine.
Yeah, sure.
I did that with a lot of stuff, a lot of Master Universe stuff, because I don't know if it's going to be a lot of that stuff. I don't know if it's going to be there again.
Yeah.
With the Superstars line, I do that. Like I'll buy them. I don't think I've ever found them on clearance. I think I found maybe that Bray Wyatt years ago.
Not many.
But not many, because everyone buys them up because they short pack them and they only have like maybe 4 or 8 like in a box, and they're gone. So it's hard to, with those, when I see them, I buy them. So those are like $21. So maybe that's probably my average for buying stuff. I think even like the ring, so that's the second WWE tournament ring that got the Snake Mountain one. I ended up getting that on clearance online on Walmart when they were doing a Christmas sale, which I was surprised I even got it because it's Walmart and they usually cancel orders.
Right.
And I ended up getting that. So I think normally it was like $40. I think I got it for 30 or maybe 25. It was a percentage off. It definitely wasn't full price. But yeah, a lot of my stuff I don't buy. I wait till there's a sale.
Bill says, seems like the WWE and AEW toys are big time peg warmers these days.
They feel like it, yeah.
Always
AEW
at Walmart.
especially. And
Terrafim says that's the smart way to do it.
Yeah, it's Brendan. Shout out to Brendan.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's for me. I really only try to buy, especially the Elite figures and Ultimate figures. The Ultimate figures are, they are for what they offer at that $35 range. There is a lot of value in that toy.
Yeah.
Just for me, it's hard for me to buy when I know those are going to sit around a while to buy those at full price.
Yeah.
Especially when Ollie's has a bunch of those. Usually, I should have bought. There was a Rob Van Dam that they had out there for like $15. I was like, I probably should have bought that.
Dang
it. Damn.
Well, any final words on wrestling toys? And
they're awesome. They're really fun for the Predator to take on and fight.
Yeah,
they're almost a staple of the Predator fights that I have here on YouTube or on all of our social media platforms. So it's something that, because they scale well. Let me grab it. Oh, here he is.
They do.
So there's a lanyard, Walmart Predator. And then let's grab Randy Orton here. So back to back, they're
ready to rumble.
They're about same height. And then out of nowhere, RKO.
All right. Well, let's take.
They're fun. They're fun to play with, and yeah, like I said, you can usually find them. You can go to any toy store, and there's usually a bin of loose wrestling toys, and they're like $1 to $5 or whatever, $5 to $10. Go search through those, and you might find a gem, because there's always some out there. The only thing we didn't mention was because they're historically part of wrestling, or the big LJN. They call them dog toys, but they're the big rubber wrestling toys. And those really kickstarted in the 80s. They're kind of with the wrestling going as strong as it was. Those giant toys. They even made rings for them as well, but those are getting pretty pricey now too. Just for this giant, there's no articulation whatsoever. Yeah. It's just a big rubber toy that you can like slap somebody with.
I feel like I want to get the little Hasbros too. We didn't really talk about those. Yeah. They're a little smaller guys.
Little punching action.
Yep, and they seem to have a lot more of the classic wrestlers in those.
I do like those. I don't have any of those. I should probably pick some up, but even the thumb wrestling guys, you have to stick your thumbs in them, and then you can like fight each other and stuff. Those are fun.
Like we had some, but I can just vision myself, Tad, having a little buddy, the stuffed ones. Yeah, those are. See him carrying
like Ultimate Warrior.
Ones
and those. Yeah, they actually started making some of those again. I thought I saw like an AEW Sting or something like that.
Yeah. Bill says, don't forget the pops.
That's true. I have some up
there somewhere.
Way up there above Eternia. You can't see it in the shot, but I do have a 2-pack of Hogan and Mr. T. And then I have a Bam Bam Bigelow as well. I did give, I had a Macho Man Savage, but I ended up giving that to Amanda because she loves Randy Savage. So I gave that to her.
Bill says he had the Hillbilly Jim and Roddy Piper thumb wrestlers.
Nice.
Heck, yes.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Let's take a quick little break. Let's tell you all about our podcast network, the PFPN. There's a lot of really great podcasts over there. And this lady's going to tell you all about it.
You're listening to the Prescribed Films Podcast Network, home to hundreds of hours of free podcast entertainment. The shows on this network all have a common goal: providing you with the best discussions about movies and other forms of entertainment media. The PFPN hopes to fill your earholes with audio joy. Visit our website with links to all the other amazing shows at www.thepfpn.com. Thanks for listening.
All right, we are back, and now it's time for Elgin to take us on a store tour.
All right, we're back, and we're going over to Oliver's Toy Chest. It's over at 209 Main Street in Hamilton, Ohio, as people call it, Toy-hio.
That's right.
It's about 7 hours and 50 minutes from Ottumwa, so pack up your snacks and hit the road, because it'll be a while before you get there. And it's also about 40 minutes north of Cincinnati. So if that kind of gives you a perspective of where it's at in Ohio, Cincinnati's kind of on the very bottom near the Kentucky border, one of the larger cities there. And of course, it's about 2 hours from Indianapolis. And has a bunch of vintage and modern toys, such as Transformers, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, there's Star Trek figures as well, Marvel, DC, Cabbage Patch Dolls, much, much more. They have a bunch of Funko Pops there as well. Tons of figures, as you can see from the screen there as well. The store, of course, was named in honor of their son, who unfortunately passed away in 2021 from childhood cancer. They do quite a bit of fundraising for cancer treatments and stuff like that. So they kind of help support the community and honor his life with the toy store as well. But did you know that Hamilton is known as the City of Sculptures and has over 40 sculptures throughout the city? So I thought that was pretty cool. But that's Oliver's Toy Chest at 209 Main Street, Hamilton, Ohio.
Very cool, very cool. Yeah. Well, all right. That's awesome. Before we go today, definitely want to, it's all new here. This new weekly live show should move some of this talk up into the front of the show, but we started a new little campaign for all our members, our core members who want to help support the show.
Yes.
Everyone can do that by going to enlistinthecore.com. You see the link up there at the top. Just go there, check it out. That's really our Patreon page. There's a couple different tiers where you get all sorts of really cool stuff, like brand new bonus episodes that are only going to be for for core members.
Exactly.
That's right. I also forgot I had a picture here of what core stands for. That's right. The Cracktastic Organization of Retro Plastic Specialists.
That's right.
So y'all have a really cool name now.
And a badge at some point.
No badges. Why do you think it's a badge?
Why didn't we get iron on badges?
We probably should.
For our leather jackets that we all wear.
We can do that if we get enough people to sign up.
That's right. Maybe
you can also, if you're more of a YouTube person, you can see down there and click that join button. Same tiers. But on here, you can get access to your name's different in the chat. You get little icons next to your name, which lets you know how long you've been a member. Exclusive emojis. But we also have the new tier on YouTube, too, where you get bonus episodes. You get included in an exclusive chat with us and the other core members. It's pretty exciting.
Yes.
So definitely, if you want to help support the show, please check those things out. Enlistinthecore.com or the join button down below. We'd really appreciate it. Tell your friends, all that fun stuff. But one of the perks of being a core member is you get shout outs on the show, like these fine folks: Tony Miller, Chris Turnip Simmons, Alex LaForest, Bill Fisher, and Colin Bunn. Thanks, guys, so much for being supporters of the show. We really appreciate it. Our core members.
Exactly. The original core.
That's right.
The OG core.
Yeah. Well, we did it, Elgin. We did it.
I was saluting the OG core,
That's it. One up, number one.
just like Roman Reigns.
Oh, okay. I should have known it was a wrestling
Of course,
reference.
we only make wrestling references on this episode.
Just this one. After
Yeah.
this, we're
They're
done.
done. Yeah, I got to use them all up now.
That's right. And once again, every Monday night, 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central, live on YouTube. Every Monday night.
5 o'clock Pacific.
That's
That's probably why Jimmy was
already-
on.
We say too many numbers as it is. Let's try
6
to make
o'clock Mountain.
it. Okay, see? Yeah, so if those apply to you, please join us next week. And
Exactly.
I guess we're going to go now. Well, thanks
All right.
everybody for tuning in and being awesome. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for listening to the Cracktastic Plastic Podcast. But not so fast, my foul fiends. Don't forget to follow these fools on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And visit cracktasticplastic.com. I'll be back.